The fight started because his phone wouldn't stop vibrating. It was 1:13 a.m., over and over. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Why is it blowing up like that? I asked. It's nothing, Caleb said too fast. Nothing doesn't vibrate 20 times in 30 seconds. I grabbed it before he could flip it face down. He lunged for it. We both dropped it. The screen lit up on the floor between us, and I saw my name, not in his messages, in a group chat title. Operation L. L is me. My stomach dropped so hard I actually felt dizzy. Open it, I said. It's just a joke, he said. Open it. He hesitated. That hesitation told me everything. I unlocked it. He didn't change the password. He never thought I'd need to. The chat had 14 people in it. 14. His best friend. My cousin, his sister. 2 of our mutual friends, even my own brother. My hands were shaking so badly I almost dropped the phone again. The latest message was from his friend Marcus. She's suspicious. Don't fold now. I scrolled. Hundreds of messages. Screenshots of my texts, voice memos, pictures of me at family dinners. Clips from arguments I didn't know were recorded. My heart started pounding in my ears. What is this? I whispered. Caleb went quiet. It's not what you think. Then what is it? Because it looks like 14 people documenting me. There were folders inside the chat. Phase 1. Phase 2. Trigger reactions. Loyalty test results. I stopped breathing. Caleb, I said slowly, what the hell is this? It was supposed to be harmless. Harmless. There was a pinned message at the top from almost 2 years ago. From Caleb. Let's see how far we can push before she cracks. My vision blurred. I scrolled faster. They were tracking my moods, rating my reactions to arguments, betting on whether I'd apologize first. There was a poll labeled, does she know yet? 70% said no. I felt like I was going to throw up. You've been studying me? I asked. No. Recording me? It started as a joke. 14 people, for 2 years. You humiliated me for fun? It wasn't like that. I clicked a random voice memo. It was me crying. From a fight last winter. I remember that fight. He told me I was overreacting. The chat underneath the audio clip said, Marcus, she's breaking faster than expected. Caleb, told you. My cousin pushed the jealousy angle again. I looked at Caleb like I didn't know him. Push the jealousy angle? He stepped closer. Lena, calm down. Don't call me calm down. You were testing me? It wasn't supposed to get this far. That means it went somewhere. I scrolled again. There was a fake Instagram account linked in the bio. Life with L. I clicked it. My entire relationship was documented. But twisted. Clips of me angry. Cropped screenshots of me sounding insecure. Posts framing me as unstable. 12,000 followers. 12,000 strangers watching my worst moments. My throat closed. This is revenge porn, I whispered. It's private. It has 12,000 followers. He went pale. You weren't supposed to see that yet. Yet? Yet? What does that mean? He didn't answer. Another message popped up in the chat live. Marcus, why'd it go quiet? Then, my brother, is she with you right now? I slowly turned the phone toward Caleb. They're watching me in real time. His silence was louder than screaming. My phone buzzed. A DM request from a random account. Hey girl, you should see what your boyfriend's posting about you. I looked at Caleb, and for the first time in 3 years, I didn't recognize him. And that's when his phone buzzed again. Marcus, did you tell her about phase 3? I looked up. What's phase 3? Caleb swallowed and didn't answer. I locked myself in the bathroom with his phone. He was banging on the door. Lena, open it. I ignored him. I started screen recording everything. Scrolling, saving, sending it to myself. There were spreadsheets, actual spreadsheets, columns labeled, emotional volatility, jealousy spikes, apology time, attachment dependency. They rated me on a scale of 1 to 10. Like I was a project. There was a section labeled, staged incidents. My hands went numb. I opened it. The night I caught him texting his ex? Planned. The party where that girl flirted with him nonstop? Invited on purpose. The time he accidentally left his location off for 6 hours? Scripted. I slid down against the bathroom door. Every fight. Engineered. I wasn't insecure. They made me insecure. There was a video, uploaded 2 months ago. Title, Gaslight Attempt number 6. I pressed play. It was him, talking to the camera. She's starting to question her memory. That's good. Means she's emotionally dependent. I stopped breathing. He was smiling. Like this was science. The comments under the video were worse. My cousin, you're actually proving the theory. Marcus, she won't leave. She's too attached. I felt something crack inside me. My entire relationship wasn't just fake. It was a long-term experiment. Then I saw something that made it worse. Pinned in the files. A contract, signed by Caleb. And someone else. My stomach dropped when I read the name. Ethan. My brother. And under purpose, it said, document attachment formation under controlled instability. Controlled instability. I unlocked the door. Caleb was standing there. Did you involve my brother? He didn't answer. Did you? He approached me. The room started spinning. He what? It was his idea. My chest tightened. No. He's writing a dissertation. A dissertation. On me. My phone buzzed again. This time from my brother. Can we talk? I stared at it. Then at Caleb. You let him use me? It wasn't like that. That's exactly what it's like. Another buzz. Marcus, is she crying? Record it. I looked at Caleb. You're disgusting. He tried to grab my arm. I stepped back, and that's when my phone rang. Unknown number, I answered. A girl's voice. Hi, are you Lena? Yes? You don't know me, but I think we've both been in that group chat. My heart stopped. What? My ex is Marcus. Silence. They did this to me too. Everything inside me went cold. You're not the first. And that's when I realized I wasn't a girlfriend. I was a case study, and I wasn't the only one. I put the girl on speaker. Caleb's face drained of color. Tell her, I said. The girl's voice was shaking. They called it attachment conditioning. Marcus said it was for research. They tracked everything. My reactions, my breakdowns. They staged cheating too. Caleb ran a hand through his hair. This is getting out of control. Out of control? I laughed. It sounded hysterical. You filmed me crying. He lowered his voice, calm, controlled. Lena, you're spiraling. There it was. The tone he used when he wanted me to doubt myself. You're overwhelmed. You're misinterpreting everything. I stared at him. I'd heard that sentence so many times. Misinterpreting. Overreacting. Too emotional. The girl on the phone whispered. That's what they said to me. My stomach twisted. Caleb reached for the phone. You don't know the context. What context explains spreadsheets about my jealousy spikes? I snapped. He exhaled slowly. It started as Ethan's research proposal. He studies behavioral psychology. He needed real relationship data. Without consent, I asked. It wasn't supposed to hurt you. I almost laughed again. 2 years, I said. 2 years of manipulating me. You weren't manipulated. I froze. What? You reacted naturally. That's the point. My skin felt cold. You engineered fights. We introduced variables. Variables. I felt like I was floating outside my body. This isn't real, I whispered. Caleb stepped closer. Lena, think about it. We never broke up. We're still here. That proves the attachment is authentic. I actually questioned myself for half a second. We were still together. I hadn't left. Did that mean something? He saw the flicker in my face and pushed. You're letting one group chat distort 3 years of love. Love. The word felt fake in his mouth. My phone buzzed again. Another message request. A screenshot. From someone I didn't know. It was the fake Instagram account. Life with L. And under the newest post was a poll. How long until she finds out? The options were, already did. Not yet. Phase 3 first. It had 9,000 votes. My vision tunneled. They're still posting, I said. Caleb grabbed his phone from my hand. They're idiots. You're in it. He hesitated. Then said quietly, I was. Was. So you left the group chat? I asked. Silence. Caleb. He didn't answer. The girl on the phone said softly, they don't leave. I looked at him. Is there a phase 3? His jaw tightened. Answer me. It's not what you think. Then what is it? He rubbed his face. Public exposure. The room went silent. What? They wanted to see what happens when the subject realizes they've been observed. Subject. Observed. They're planning to expose me? Not like that. Then how? He didn't answer. My phone buzzed again. This time it wasn't a DM. I didn't think. I drove straight at them. Marcus panicked and tried to reverse, but I blocked him in. I got out of my car shaking. He rolled down the window halfway. Lena, calm down. Are you filming me? I screamed. The passenger lowered the camera. And my stomach dropped. It wasn't some random friend. It was Dr. Patel, my brother's dissertation advisor. I'd met him at Thanksgiving. He'd complimented my emotional intelligence. I felt sick. Why is he here? I demanded. Marcus looked trapped. Dr. Patel adjusted his glasses like this was a normal Tuesday. We didn't anticipate early discovery, he said calmly. Early discovery? Like I'd opened a Christmas present too soon. You're a licensed psychologist, I said. You're participating in this? It's observational. Without consent. He gave me a look I'll never forget. We have consent. My ears rang. No, you don't. Marcus glanced at Dr. Patel. Dr. Patel nodded slightly. Marcus reached into the back seat, pulled out a folder, held it out the window. Your signature, he said. I stared at it. It was a copy of a form, with my name, my full legal name, and what looked like my signature. I grabbed it. The title read, Behavioral Attachment Study Participation Agreement. Dated 3 years ago, the week Caleb and I started dating. I never signed this, I whispered. Marcus swallowed. It was included in the lease paperwork. Lease paperwork. My first apartment with Caleb. There had been so many documents. Move-in forms, maintenance agreements, pet addendums. I remembered signing quickly without reading everything. No, I said. This is fraud. Dr. Patel spoke softly. The language was broad. It allowed behavioral documentation within shared domestic spaces. My knees almost gave out. You hid a research contract inside a lease. It was legal. Legal. Not moral. Not ethical. Legal. You can't publicly post me. Dr. Patel paused. The public account is not officially affiliated with the university. So they had separated it intentionally. Clean hands. Dirty execution. I felt rage replace the panic. You're done, I said. Marcus looked nervous now. You don't want to escalate this. I already have, I said. And then my phone buzzed again. Another TikTok. Another post. This one was worse. A clip of me begging Caleb not to leave during one of our staged fights. The caption, subject demonstrates abandonment trauma response. Subject. My comments were full of strangers diagnosing me. Borderline for sure. She's toxic. Why are men still dating girls like this? I couldn't breathe. You promised phase 3 would be controlled, Marcus muttered to Dr. Patel. Dr. Patel looked irritated. Someone jumped the schedule. Schedule. This was scheduled humiliation. And that's when something clicked. They're still recording me, I said slowly. Marcus didn't respond. I turned around and looked at my own house. Windows. Doorbell. Living room. I ran back inside. Caleb was standing in the kitchen. Where are the cameras? I demanded. There aren't cameras. I threw the folder at him. You forged my signature. He didn't look surprised. I didn't forge it. You tricked me. He stayed calm. Too calm. You signed. I didn't know what I was signing. That's not my fault. The way he said it. Cold. Detached. Like I was data. Where are the cameras? I screamed. He didn't answer. I started tearing through the house. Smoke detector. Nothing. Bookshelf. Nothing. Then I saw it. The air purifier. A tiny blinking light. Red. My heart dropped into my stomach. I unplugged it. Flipped it over. There it was. A micro camera lens. Pointed directly at the couch. Where most of our fights happened. I felt violated in a way I can't describe. How long? I whispered. Since we moved in. 2 years? 2 years of footage. Of everything. Arguments. Crying. Private moments. I trusted you. He didn't say anything. My phone buzzed again. This time it wasn't social media. It was my mom. Why are people sending me videos of you? I closed my eyes. Public humiliation had begun. Phase 3. And then Caleb said something that shattered what little stability I had left. You weren't the original subject. I froze. What? He looked almost relieved. Before you, there was someone else. The girl from earlier. Marcus's ex. And before her? I asked. Silence. My chest tightened. How many? He didn't answer. How many, Caleb? He finally looked at me. 3. 3 before me. I wasn't special. I wasn't chosen. I was selected. And then my phone buzzed again. A new message in the group chat. Someone had changed the group name. It now read, Containment Plan. And the newest message was from my brother. She found the cameras. Moved to phase 4. Phase 4? I stared at Caleb. What is phase 4? For the first time since this started, he looked scared. What is phase 4? I repeated. Caleb didn't answer. His phone buzzed. He looked at it and actually swore under his breath. That's when I knew it wasn't part of the plan. What? I demanded. He turned the screen toward me. It was a live stream on TikTok. From a life withal. Title, Subject Discovery, Live Response. My face. On the thumbnail. Taken from 5 minutes ago outside. They were streaming me in real time. The camera in the air purifier wasn't the only one. I felt the blood drain from my body. There are more, I said. Caleb shook his head. I didn't authorize this. You don't authorize anything. You're not in control. He didn't argue. That terrified me more. The live viewer count climbed. 12K, 18K, 26K. Comments flooded in. She found out? This is insane. Wait, this is real? My mom called again. Then my aunt. Then my coworker. Then my boss. I answered my mom. Why are people tagging me in videos of you screaming? She asked. I couldn't even form words. It's not what it looks like, I whispered. But I didn't even know what it looked like anymore. Caleb paced. This wasn't supposed to go public, he kept saying. Then why did you build it to go viral? I snapped. He didn't respond. My phone buzzed again. A text from my brother. Ethan, we need to meet now. I called him. He picked up immediately. You escalated this, he said. I escalated it? I laughed. It came out broken. You've been filming me for 3 years. You signed consent. I was tricked. It's legally binding. You hid it in lease paperwork. That's not illegal. The way he said it. Calm, clinical. Like we were discussing a parking ticket. You humiliated me in front of millions. Actually, he corrected, it's at 43,000 live viewers. I felt something in me snap. You're my brother. I'm also a researcher. I'm not your lab rat. You're proving exactly why attachment theory needs real-world data. Real-world data. That's your excuse? You were selected because you score high in emotional dependency metrics. I stopped breathing. You profiled me? We ran predictive modeling. Predictive. Modeling. Before I even dated Caleb. That's why he approached you first, Ethan added. The room tilted. What? You didn't think it was coincidence? You met him 2 weeks after your breakup? I felt like I was going to pass out. That breakup. The one that wrecked me. Caleb had been so supportive. So understanding. You targeted me. It wasn't malicious. It was predatory. Silence. Then Ethan said something that made my skin crawl. You were ideal for the hypothesis. Ideal. I hung up. Caleb looked at me. You didn't know that part? I asked. He looked guilty. I thought you suspected. You approached me on purpose? He nodded slowly. My entire relationship started as recruitment. Every sweet moment. Every coincidental interest. Engineered. And then my phone buzzed again. A new post from L Life with L. This one wasn't a video. It was a document. A screenshot of my psychological profile. My childhood therapy notes. My high school counselor reports. Private information. I never gave them that. I never told Caleb half of it. I slowly looked up. How did you get my therapy records? Caleb went pale. That wasn't me. I called Ethan again. He didn't deny it. You accessed my medical files? You waived privacy in the consent. I did not. You signed broad research disclosure. My hands were shaking so badly I dropped the phone. This wasn't just humiliation anymore. This was identity theft, and then it got worse. A notification popped up. Instagram. My boss had commented on one of the videos. Please come to HR first thing tomorrow. I felt my stomach drop. They were destroying my job, my reputation, my family relationships, in real time. Live, and then something shifted. The comments started changing. People weren't just mocking me anymore. They were questioning. Is this even legal? This feels staged. Why does she look genuinely terrified? Viewer count 71K. Marcus went live too. He was trying to control the narrative. Saying it was performance art. Saying I was a willing participant. Willing. I wasn't, but something in me hardened. If they wanted public, they were about to get public. I grabbed my phone, opened my own TikTok, went live. Caleb lunged toward me. Don't. Too late. I hit the button. Within seconds, thousands joined. I flipped the camera around. Showed the hidden camera in the air purifier. Showed the forged contract. Showed Caleb standing there. Hi, I said, voice shaking but steady enough. My boyfriend and my brother have been secretly recording me for 3 years as part of a behavioral study. I just found out tonight. The comments exploded. What? Call a lawyer. Screen record this. Caleb tried to grab the phone. I stepped back. You targeted me after my breakup, I said on live. You staged fights. You edited videos to make me look unstable. Marcus's live suddenly ended. Viewer count on mine shot past 100K. My phone overheated in my hand. Caleb looked panicked now. This will ruin everything, he whispered. Good, I said. Then my doorbell rang. 3 loud knocks. I looked at Caleb. He looked at me. And then we both looked at the front door. And that's when Ethan's voice came from the other side. Lena, open the door. We need to fix this before it gets worse. Before it gets worse? It wasn't over. Not even close. Because my live comments suddenly filled with one repeated sentence. Check the cloud. Over and over. Check the cloud. Check the cloud. Check the cloud. And I realized, if there were cameras in the house, there was footage somewhere else. Somewhere I hadn't even looked yet. I bolted for my laptop. The cloud account Caleb forgot to mention had synced everything. Every camera feed. Every recording. Every staged fight. Every private conversation. Every single moment since the day I moved in. I opened the first folder. It was dated 3 years ago at the day Caleb moved in. The first file was labeled Recruitment Phase Subject L. I clicked. It was me, laughing at lunch with my friends. Talking about Caleb before we'd even met. Moments so mundane, so ordinary, they had cataloged as baseline behavior. I scrolled down. There were dozens of folders. Phase 1, emotional triggers. Phase 2, jealousy response. Phase 3, public exposure. I swallowed hard, and then I saw it. Phase 0, pre-study. Videos of me, before I even met Caleb, walking down the street, talking on the phone, laughing at a coffee shop. My private life, recorded without my knowledge, all used to determine if I was the ideal candidate for the experiment. I felt sick. This wasn't just Caleb, it wasn't just my brother. It was an entire network. My phone buzzed. Another notification. From a number I didn't recognize. We need to speak now, Observer 1. I stared at the screen. I didn't know who that was, but I had a sinking feeling. They were not done. I opened another folder. It was a spreadsheet titled Phase 4, Containment and Compliance. Columns. Emotional Distress Index. Public Humiliation Rating. Retention Likelihood. Escape Risk. Escape Risk. I realized they weren't just observing me. They were controlling me. I turned toward Caleb. Why? I whispered. He finally broke. They wanted proof, he said quietly. They needed to see if attachment was real under extreme conditions. Attachment! I shouted. You mean humiliation, deception, and constant surveillance? That's your proof? He shrugged. It's science. I wanted to scream. I wanted to throw up. I wanted to vanish. But then something caught my eye. A folder labeled Phase X Termination. I hesitated, clicked it, and froze. Videos of me, labeled with dates in the future. Future? Predicted behaviors. My reactions to things they hadn't even done yet. Arguments I hadn't had. Fights I hadn't experienced. They had modeled me, predicted me, studied me so long and so deeply they could anticipate my every move. I dropped my laptop. The sound echoed. Caleb stepped forward. Lena, we can stop this. We can delete it. I looked at him. I couldn't speak. Finally, I said, it's not just you, is it? He shook his head. No, it's bigger. It's a project. Then my phone buzzed again. Another DM from A Life with Elle. Subject has discovered Phase X. Containment protocols initiated. And I realized something terrifying. I wasn't just a subject. I was a target. Someone, somewhere, had been planning for this exact moment. My entire life, private, intimate, messies had been engineered, studied, and now weaponized. And Phase 4, whatever it was coming. I didn't sleep that night. I couldn't. I left the apartment. Packed my things. My car smelled like fear. I called a lawyer, though I didn't know if it would help. The consent forms were broad, cleverly buried in legalese. Social media had exploded. Clips of me crying, yelling, looking confused all went viral. People either sympathized or attacked. Everyone had an opinion. Caleb was frantic. Marcus and Ethan were unreachable. Dr. Patel called repeatedly. I went live again. This time I showed everything. All the footage. All the fake accounts. All the spreadsheets. And the world responded. Authorities got involved. Investigation started. Media outlets picked it up. My name was everywhere. But now I controlled the narrative. Some people felt sorry. Others were angry. But the best part? I realized I wasn't weak. I survived Phase 1, 2, 3, and X. They predicted me. Studied me. Tried to break me. And I walked out. I don't know what Caleb's life looks like now. I don't check social media anymore. I have therapy. I have privacy. I have control. And I've learned one thing. Some people see you as data. Some people see you as a subject. But you are never just a case study. And no one can take your agency away if you fight back. Months later, I moved across the country. New job, new apartment. New friends. I still get alerts from accounts tied to that group. I ignore them. I still have nightmares about the footage. About the spreadsheets. About Caleb smiling at the camera. But I also have clarity. I know now who I am. And I know what boundaries are non-negotiable. I learned that trust isn't given, it's earned. And that some people will go to unspeakable lengths to prove a point. But in the end, truth always comes out. And freedom is priceless.